So, and also very important for the institute, we house the scholars come to the institute to do research. So we set up, and with the support from many foundations, and we set up the scholarship, like Sino-British scholarship, and also this is a Korean, is Dr. Kim donated money to set up this scholarship. And also, very important, we got the members from independent school academy here, is ISF. They donated money to set up a postdoc research fellowship for 3 years here. And then we have a very good cooperation with the school to host school's visit. And we have the picture later. And many things. And I'm really happy to introduce this year, we received the first time, we received the donation from mainland China. So this is a Jin Brown company donate the money to set up 2 scholarships every year for the scholars doing research in Cambridge. I hope all our young scholars here, if you are interested, you can try to apply for these scholarships. And then we have the scholars come to visit us, and from Japan and Germany and Sweden. So this is a truly international, international institute. So these provide platform for scholars from different countries and different, research subject communicate to each other, so interactive to each other. And we also receive, the China Entrepreneur Club visit. That's the 2012, and we have a very interesting discussion about Joseph Needham's questions. And we also have the conference and the seminars regularly in the institute, and we have the visitor from ISF, the academic school. Look at here, everyone come to our institute, we give them a shirt. It's over there, right? Look at here. Is that beautiful, right? So try to be our institute. We can give you a small gift like this. Right, this is for the future, and I'm really happy to report here with the Eastern Asia History of Science Foundation support. Next year, in July, and we are going to organize the Needham's workshop at the Institute. And we're also trying to establish, the regular conference on, Chinese science or Eastern Asia science, to raise the regular international conference, provide more support to scholars. And we're also trying to raise more funds to establish scholarships to support young people. We want to carry on, the Joseph Needham legacy, and also the international conference. That's it. That is my presentation. I would like to thank everyone, thank the foundation and Hong Kong Education Bureau, right, for their support and gave me this chance to present this talk. How many minutes now? Sorry. That is all. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mei, for giving us an inspiring, rather encouraging, right? Students going to Cambridge, scholarships. Though the time is tight, is there any feedback or questions from students, teachers, and educators? Yes.
I'm interested in this volume on botany.
Botany.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it says forthcoming.
Yeah, forthcoming. Yeah.
When's it coming?
Next year, John.
Next year. Well, yeah.
It's already in press.
Late next year.
So you are interested in that subject?
Well, I was also working for Cambridge University Press in the 70s when we were publishing these volumes, endless parts.
All right. Well, thank you. You have very good.
talk, I was wondering if for my benefit and the benefit of the other students, here, you could say a little bit more about what the students from Hong Kong do when they visit the Institute.
Yes, and I think they did very interesting stuff. Shall I invite our teacher here to describe that? And I think I really liked them, it's the young face, walking around our institute, so polite. And also he's trying to be a scholar, really serious scholar. I like them very much. Yeah. Right, and I think that's the teacher. Okay.
Well, I should probably just mention I'm a Latin teacher, kind of my background. We have this relationship where we take several students every summer. We have a week in London and 3 weeks in Cambridge where the students do a research, they write a research paper. And so we determine their topics beforehand. We've got the collection in our library of these books. And so we go through it, and it's usually a mixture of student interest and pushing them academically. So we have a student this year, for example, who's very interested in meteorology, and he will be looking into that specific chapter, especially divination and everything else. And so they prepare topics before we go, and then we spend 3 weeks in Cambridge biking from where we stay into the institute, and the students have 2 sessions every day, 3 hours in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, where they sit with piles of books. They do the research like any university undergraduate would, and then they prepare a paper, and there's a first draft. Our postdoc, Wu Hui, Dr. Wu Hui, she helps the students, sort of refine their question and their research methodology, and then eventually they have a first draft which we check, and it goes back a couple of times, and then we publish the best ones. We just have a research journal that we published for the first time this year, so things are moving forward. We need to give you a copy.
Yeah, I heard it is the journal, the school journal, the research journal. You have to realize, it's really great. I'm looking forward to that. And I not ask 1 copy, I ask 20, please. Yeah, please.
Since I know that this talk will be videotaped and uploaded for benefits of Hong Kong students generally, may I ask a question? What are your views with the relevance of knowing more about Joseph Needham to current students?
Sometimes, and I just imagine, I thought about that, and I thought, is that a political issue? It's if we encourage students to try to learn something about China, about Chinese history, about Chinese civilization, what's the best way? Because when you're talking about history, you are imagining there's so many books. No one can really finish that, right? So what's the best way, to access for the young students, especially the secondary school students, to try to understand something is very special. I always try to speak to my students, and I said, look, what about talking about Asian science? We are not really, to look at the science, ancient science technology from the modern science. You will say it's so primitive, right? Because it's not so advanced. Why we bother to study that? So the only thing is in my lecture to give to the Phoenix, the television, and I give a lecture there. What I said is, this is our heritage. So we are the young generations, right? And we need to passing down our heritage. The heritage, the history, this is the way you try to understand yourself, your country, and your roots, really. So this is I don't know how to say that, really. I don't want to make it too serious. It's just, sometimes I try to say, it does make fun. And you ask me about why it's my university, I studied the physical chemistry. That is my first major.